Your brain isn't trapping you because you're lazy. It keeps you stuck because it learned the wrong rules about money. And the dangerous part is that most people never realize this. They think wealth is a matter of luck, or intelligence, or simply working harder. And that belief feels safe because nothing inside ever has to change. In reality, people usually get emotional when they're under stress, while those who come out ahead financially pause, step back, and ask a different question. In 5 years, will this even matter? Loud is what most people respond to. When a problem shows up, a message comes in, or something goes wrong, their emotions take control through stress, panic, and overthinking, and they react to whatever is loudest in the moment. But people who come out ahead financially don't react like that. They pause, not because they don't care, but because they understand something most people don't, and they ask one quiet question. 5 years from now, will this even matter? That single question changes how everything feels, because when you zoom out far enough, almost everything that feels urgent today loses its power. The bad day, the argument, the deal that didn't work out, the person who disappointed you. Most of what people lose sleep over right now won't even be a memory 5 years from now. And it's not because successful people live perfect lives. They don't. They face problems, pressure, and uncertainty. The difference isn't what they face, it's how they relate to time. Average thinkers live inside the moment, while long-term thinkers live above it and understand something simple but powerful. Urgent does not mean important. Urgency is emotional. Importance is strategic. And while notifications, bad comments, and temporary setbacks feel urgent, none of those things create wealth. Wealth is built quietly, through things that don't scream for attention. The majority of people believe money is earned by working more hours, more effort, more exhaustion. And for a moment, that does seem true. You grind, you stay busy, you push through, but eventually progress slows down. Because hard work doesn't scale, patterns do. The top 1% don't obsess over effort, they obsess over repetition, watching what keeps happening again and again. The same problems, the same mistakes, the same bottlenecks appearing in new iterations. While most people add more effort when a problem repeats, the top 1% do the opposite. They build a process. They systematize chaos. And when a pattern is solved at the system level, it stops draining energy forever. If you're always tired, always fixing the same things, always putting out fires, that isn't a motivation problem. It's a pattern problem. Most people choose from within the problem. They react, they get emotional, and they try to solve whatever is directly in front of them. Over time, you stop jumping in to fix everything. You stop being the answer to every problem. Because every time you dive in, you train the system to rely on you. The top 1% avoid that trap. When something breaks, they don't ask how to fix it faster. They ask why it broke in the first place. They shape decisions rather than reflexes. They build systems instead of habits. And that's how they move from working inside the machine to designing the machine, from operator to architect. Once you start thinking one level up, your decisions become calmer, and your results stop depending on your emotions. The top 1% don't think from their location. They think one level above it. Instead of asking, what should I do next? They ask, what would the person above me do? That question creates distance, and distance removes emotion. Because when you think inside the problem, you react emotionally. But when you think one level up, you respond strategically. Many individuals make decisions based on feelings. When something feels uncomfortable, they avoid it. And when something feels personal, they react emotionally. But the top 1% don't vote with their hearts. They decide from data, separating feelings from facts. Emotions are loud, but rarely accurate. And when emotions lead, decisions become sluggish, sloppy, and inconsistent. So what's different about the top 1%? They look at outcomes and ask simple questions. Is this working? And is this improving the result? If the numbers improve, they continue. And if the numbers drop, they tweak or eliminate the issue. No drama, no stories, no personal attachment. It's not cruelty, it's clarity. Emotionless decision-making doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It means not allowing them to dictate. Because emotions change every day, while data reveals patterns. When you learn to trust patterns over moods, your decisions become faster, your stress gets lower, and your results become predictable. That's how the 1% stay calm, while everyone else stays confused. Time is something most people try to manage. They organize it, try to fit more into it, and stay busy. But the top 1% see time differently. To them, time is not a timetable, it's capital. Every hour is an investment, every decision is a bet. And just like money, time can either compound or disappear. That's why they're selective about what goes on their calendar. They don't say yes to everything. They don't jump into meetings. They remove distractions, and they cut low-return tasks by deciding what doesn't matter. As a result, their hours are spent on things that scale, thinking, strategy, building, and relationships that create leverage. For most people, trading time for money is a way of life. But the 1% take time to build systems that generate money even when they're not around. And once you understand that, you're no longer trapped by a calendar of obligations. It becomes a roadmap for what you choose to do. The conventional view is that mindset comes from within, that if people simply stay inspired, everything will work out. But the top 1% understands something most can't articulate. Your environment shapes how you think long before motivation ever arrives. The people you spend time with, the problems you're surrounded by, and what you see every day quietly program your choices. Which is why the top 1% are extremely selective about what they allow into their environment. They don't live in places that make them sick, they don't maintain relationships that normalize chaos, and they don't keep entourages that complain without changing. Not because they're cold, but because they're intentional. They know average environments produce average thinking, while elite outcomes demand elite standards. When your environment is disorganized, your thinking becomes scattered. When your environment challenges you, your thinking sharpens, which is why the top 1% place themselves in rooms where they are not the smartest person. If you apply these principles, you'll begin thinking differently from most people. Not overnight, not magically, but structurally. And that's how real wealth is built. If this has changed how you think about money, there's another video you should watch next that breaks down how the top 1% make decisions when everyone else is reacting.